Welcome back to another week here at Side Hustles by Seoenz. I'm Heidi So,
And I'm Juan Carlos Enriquez.
and together we are Seoenz. So today we have a very special friend, Jonathan Mijares, and Jonathan has a bachelor's and master's degree in mechanical engineering from UTEP. He worked at the Keck Center for 3D Innovation, where he did his thesis in conjunction with General Electric. He worked at Intiva Products as a product engineer for 2 years before jumping in his endeavor. Yes, es que estaba comiendo. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for being here. And before we get into Forex trading, which is like your niche, um, I wanted to talk. Well, actually, my husband wanted to ask you some questions.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yes. Yes, I have known Jonathan for about 12 years now, and he's a dearly friend of ours. And I just wanted to start off by asking you some questions. I know that you've been doing Forex for a while, Forex retail trading, and I'm just wanted to tell, I mean, how you started. I mean, how you started before we go into the Forex trading. I mean, how you started your engineering career and what got you interested in it.
Okay. In high school, I learned about Nikola Tesla, and I was really, really amazed by what he did and the level of knowledge and thinking he has. He had. He's still a very big inspiration to me. So when I started learning about him, I got really, really interested in engineering. And since I love cars, I decided to go for mechanical engineering because I wanted to work in the automotive industry. So when I finished my bachelor's, I was aware about 3D printing, and I was really impressed by how you can build a part in a layer-to-layer fashion. So I wanted to learn more about that, and I had the opportunity to work at the Keck Center in YouTube, where they specializes in 3D processes and innovation. And since it is an emerging technology, there is a lot of research of finding machine parameters to build parts of different materials that have the same mechanical properties as conventional parts, manufacturing conventional methods. So it is coming very, very strong, and there is a lot of research on that. So I did my thesis in developing machine parameters to build a nickel-based superalloy, and it was a really, really interesting adventure. I knew a lot of people over there, and they become really, really good friends. Then after that, I work at Intiva Product, as
Mhm.
you said, and the company make latches, and the latch is the mechanism that allows the door of the car to be open or to be closed.
Mhm.
So finally, I work in the automotive industry,
Nice.
and I really enjoyed my work over there. I really knew a good friends of mine, and something that I wasn't aware of is since it's a maquiladora, I had a different perspective on how they work. But my colleagues taught me through leadership, my boss and my colleagues, and I learned a lot of things over there.
Oh, nice. And then while you were in this at your work, did you ever had the itch to start like a business or to do something by your own, or it was like,
To start a
oh, I
side
just
hustle.
uh-huh.
Well, when I finished my master's degree, I felt kind of lost. At the time, I was reading Robert Kiyosaki,
Mm.
and it opened my mind about different possibilities that you can do. So I wasn't sure, like, I was in the middle of, okay, do I pursue the entrepreneurial thing or do I pursue my
Career.
engineering career? Because I spent 7 years of my life studying engineering. So what was it? And so I started to find ways, or to find to explore things to see if I like it. So when I was working, I decided to work as an engineer to see how it feels. I wanted to know what is it about in the industry, not just in the academia. And I tried a lot of things. I tried network marketing. I tried working as a real estate agent, selling stuff on Amazon, online businesses, and I failed at them. And the one thing to me to realize is that, to me, being an entrepreneur, it's kind of good, but it's not enough. The real important factor to me is achieve financial independence. I can be working, but I need to have like other source of income that make me like give me more stability.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that some people, including me at the time, don't succeed because they don't persist long enough in their adventure. And
Mm-hmm.
why they don't persist long enough? Because they don't develop the ability to enjoy the process. And I think that is a really critical factor, because if you're going to do something big, it's not going to happen overnight. Not even in a year or even 2 years. It's going to require 3, 4, or more years of your time, of your effort, of your money, of your discipline, and everything else. If you don't develop the ability to enjoy the process, it's going to be very difficult to sustain the growth. So people underestimate, no, people overestimate what they can do in 6 months, but they underestimate what they can do in 2 or more years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's a really
So
good point that you're saying, because obviously being a business owner or an entrepreneur, it's not for everyone. It's not safe. And but it's crazy to think that you're gonna receive results immediately, when even just to have a career, I mean, you have to, invest 4 years of your life at least to get your bachelor's, and then you're able to get a job, right? So in order to get like that back. So for people to think that just for the fact that you're starting a business, and then you're gonna be able to like just immediate success after 6 months. It's not
exactly.
that it can't happen, but I've been in business a long time, and I know that maybe it takes like 5 years for you to actually see good profit, not just, reinvesting. It's actually when you can see, okay, I've actually made money. Because one of the things that I know as a business owner is that it's not payroll. When you make money, that's like for the business. Obviously, you can sustain yourself, but that's not the point of having a business. So, just a thought.
And that is a really important point. And you have to change your perception a little bit about how you want to grow your business, and if it is something that is going to grow over the long haul, or if it is something you're expecting to receive money because you need it. And that is a very important point to make, because if you're thinking like, oh, right, at 6 months I'm going to be making this amount of money, maybe that is not going to happen. I mean, it can be accomplished, but not in the short term.
Hmm.
Okay, so I mean, you explore this. You wanted to explore a financial independence. So how did you land it on forex trading? And
Or what
then,
is Forex
and then
trade?
the
I don't
other
even know what
following
that
question,
is.
yes, what is forex trading?
So forex trading is the short term for foreign exchange, and is like stocks, but in this case you are investing in the currency of a country. However, the currency is gonna base the value is gonna be based on another currency, right? So it's why it is traded in pairs. in Forex you trade euro dollar versus American dollar, or US
Pesos.
dollar with pesos. You need that pair because the pair gives value to the other currency. So it's traded in pairs, but it's you're investing in the currency of a country. Mhm.
Okay.
And what was the other question? The transition?
No, no, I'm asking you, how did you land it on Forex? So how did you,
Oh, so
So from all of your side hustles
yeah,
that you were
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do,
uh,
So,
how did you
uh,
get to
uh,
this one?
yeah, after I realized that I was making mistakes and I had the wrong perception, um, I needed to find something what I really like, what I really believe, and what I can do for at least the next 10 years. That is the question that filters some of the others opportunities out. Because when you have an opportunity, you have to see it as what are you going to spend your time? What are you going to spend your money and your effort, right? And if you're merely thinking in the profit you can get, I don't think that that is the correct way, because you have to like it, you have to enjoy it in order to survive. So the next question I made myself is, okay, what can I do for the next 10 years that I would like? And that's when I found Forex and I felt in love. It's
okay.
like a video game that can make you money.
Nice. And then, okay, so you found the Forex, you liked it, you said that this was a game. Now you still were working in Enteva as we were speaking. So, um, what made that? How did you make that transition, and what made you decide? Okay, so I'm all going 100% on Forex trading, and I'm leaving my job. So how did you come to that decision? How it happened?
So when I was working as an engineer, I started to explore these other possibilities, right? And then I found Forex and I start studying. However, because of my work responsibilities and my personal responsibilities, I just sometimes just 20 minutes a day was all that I can do. So over months, that became a frustration. So I had to decide if I wanted like an stable income and do it little by little by little by little, or if I can save enough money for some time so that I can live and then I can dedicate it 100% to the Forex. And since I wanted faster, I decided to pursue my career as a Forex trader.
Okay, so sorry about that, but so then how did you find Forex? Like who told you about Forex?
Well, when we were studying, there was a professor called Dr. Hawkins that introduced
Mm.
us to the financial markets. He was an inspiration to many of us because he was a mechanical
He was an engineer.
engineer,
Uh huh.
and then he had a lot of businesses. He was like very successful guy, and
Yeah,
he
Dr. Hawkins actually offered this class as an entrepreneurship for engineers, and he told us that engineering, it wasn't all about just working at, but I mean, to make money is another goal in life. And I remember that we tried a lot, but I mean, it was just outreaching, like really far out thinking, because we're as engineers, we don't think about money. What we think is about building, about designing, about
designed. Uh-huh.
about homework. But yeah, he told us about how to get foreclosed properties. He told us how he did it, and he even told us that he invested in Dell computing when he came back from war,
That's
because
true.
he's a veteran, and he had about $2 million in stock just for from Dell. So like we were like, wow. So, and he has no, I mean, he
And the
has
thing
an
is
idol.
that
Yeah.
he's still a professor, right? So he follows his passions, like to show students and to guide them in this career. But yet he knew that financial independence would never be reached by just having a 401k.
No, and it was really inspirational because you have this professor there that was successful in engineering and successful in the entrepreneurial world, and he
And
was
he
giving
was
you
like an idol.
advice like, yeah, he really was. That's amazing. It was a blessing.
So and then
So
so
then from there, I know that the financial markets exist, right?
mm,
However, I didn't study really hard on 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 that until I failed on my other adventures. So when I returned to the financial markets, I started looking on how can you make profit, how it does it work, and I became obsessed,
addicted.
addicted. Yes.
Nice. So okay, you took that decision. I'm getting off my work and then doing this 100%. Would you make this decision again if I mean if you go back in time, and would you do the same decision?
Uh, Probably yes. However, not at that time because even though I was studying, I underestimate how difficult is trading the markets. How you have to grow in emotional control, in knowledge, in order to be successful in the forex, and that took me a while to realize. So I was thinking, okay, in a year I'm gonna be profitable if I study all that I can and everything. In a year was my plan to be
Hmm.
able to make money. It didn't happen. It took me like a year and a half or a little bit more to be able to show consistent results.
Okay.
So I
Do
will
you
wait
have
a little
some?
bit more. Mhm.
Do you have some money saved for this? Were you planning
Yes, yes,
to go
yes.
to?
I prepare the everything to be able to sustain myself for 1 year.
Mm,
Okay, so you are like, okay, I have enough savings for 1 year, and I'm gonna just quit my job and start doing this full time. And then what happened?
And then I studied really hard, 9 hours a day, even on weekends, trying
Well,
this,
my
trying
question, I
that.
guess, would have been like, okay, so did you make money?
Well, in the first year, no, it didn't happen. I mean, I
Okay.
make money, but making money 1 month, that's not enough. The real success in trading is month after month after month after month. You have to be making money. If you make money 1 month and then 3 of them you didn't make any, I mean, you can sustain yourself doing that, right?
Okay.
okay, so what skills were you lacking during this time, and how did you make it work?
Right. So we can divide trading in two aspects: the technical aspect, the knowledge you need to be successful, and the psychological part, the emotional part. Because since it is a game related to money, if you lose money, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's you need to have emotional control to be able to sustain the losses and appreciate the winnings. So because our relation to money and socially, I don't think nothing prepares us for this because even in school or at work, we work really hard and we get value out of work. Even in academia, some grades, in workings, maybe on promotions or more money. So you work and you have your result like almost in a very short term. In here, you can work really hard for 2 3 months and you don't have any earnings. So that part is very difficult to get used to, and it comes back to what 80 was saying before. Um, you have to let it grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can expect to make money like in 6 months or I don't know. And I think that was a mistake I made. Mhm.
Okay.
And how I overcome that? Well, I had to change my perception on what is um, how it is to work in the forex trading, because there are times that I'm going to lose. O sea, I mean, there is no a strategy that is 100% and it works every time. That doesn't exist.
Mhm.
So, you know, part of your work is going to be the losses, and you have to be okay with that. Now, in
Mhm.
theory, it sounds kind of simple. In reality, emotionally, is not, because you're putting time, you're putting effort, you're putting long
And
hours,
your and your money.
and obviously your money. Yes.
Mhm. Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, for myself, I mean, to be in the stock market, I think I would be
No, it's
more
not.
like
It's not for
emotional.
everyone. It requires a lot of growth, at least emotionally, or it requires to see money in a different perspective. You have to, in trading especially, you have to like dissociate, or um,
Separate.
um, separate from money. You are not trading the money, you're trading your trade. Because sometimes we
Oh.
make decisions about, oh, I don't know, $500 up, so I'm gonna be out. No, 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 no. Is your system tells you that you have to exit over there, or no? No, so I have to wait, or I have to exit. So you have to follow your system, you don't have to follow the money. So and that is actually really hard to do, because sometimes you're in profit and you're, I'm gonna exit, and then you lose all the money you gain, you know. So that part is kind of difficult to get used to.
Oh, I see. And then from that, I mean, what has been your, I guess, your worst experience during trading, and then what has been your best experience?
My work experience is not a single event, I think. um the persistence you need is difficult, because imagine a situation where you're learning, you're putting 9 hours day after day after day after day, and you don't see results.
Mhm.
So especially at the beginning, you have to measure your progress in about what you're learning, not in what you are earning. Especially in trading. And a very good thing to me to realize is that I can't control the markets at all. What I can
Mhm.
control is when I enter and when I exit, but I don't have any control about what the market is going to do. So it doesn't make any sense to try to measure myself based on my results.
Mhm.
So what I found out very, very useful, especially in trading, is that you can don't evaluate yourself based on what you're earning. Evaluate yourself based on how well you are trading your system or your strategy. Because there are going to be some times that you don't take trades, or that you take some trades and you lost for a couple of weeks, maybe, depending on your system and how frequently you are trading. However, you have to look at as those situations where the correct thing to do is the most difficult thing to do.
Yes.
And in those and in those situations, if you are sticking to your plan, if you are sticking to your trades, you are doing the correct thing. So you should be proud of yourself, even if you are not earning money. So you should evaluate your progress based on how well you are performing in your system. And
Mhm.
that when I realized that is when I start to making progress.
Okay. So it could be, I mean, your answer could be both, right? It would be your worst experience, and then realizing that, okay, so it wasn't the what I was doing, what was actually the outcome, or it was the emotions, and controlling yourself, being apart from that environment. So I guess separating, like you said, both the ups and downs and your emotions attached to them. So
Hmm.
that's I guess the good and the bad thing about trading, and I guess the same thing for stocks, right? So now the next
Definitely.
question that I have, I know that this can be addicting. So how bad is it? Like, would you relate it to like anything? Like, how addicting is it?
uh, it is really addicting because if you don't treat it properly, it falls in the casino mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I lost over here and I want to recover what I lost, so I trade more aggressively. That is called revenge trading. Or you're winning and you feel like you know it all and all the trades is gonna win, and you invest more than what your system tells you to do, and then you over risk and then you lost it all. So if not treating with discipline or with emotional control, it is very very addicting because you want to revenge trading or you want to make more money out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a limit on what are you expecting on a weekly basis in terms of winnings or in terms of losses. And if you reach that capacity in both ends, you just stop trading. So you have to be disciplined in that aspect, because if not, it's just gambling. And as traders, we don't gamble. We don't gamble. We take advantage of the odds in our favor.
Okay. And I guess the question that I wanted to ask you about your background in engineering. I mean, has it helped you in being successful in forex trading?
Well, yes, because I understand the math. So in
Mm-hmm.
terms of probability of Fibonacci levels, understanding how the system can perform based on historical data, and I think it was easier for me to understand that part at least.
Okay. How do you see yourself in 5 years?
Uh, Winning month by month by month by month, and growing the account, having better control of my emotions, implementing new knowledge at a technical level, keep growing.
Okay. And then if someone is actually wanted to start into like forex trading, what education would you recommend, and what items would you have liked to know beforehand before starting this?
Okay. It took me a while to realize some fundamental things that I think is not covered very well in the media. And there are like basic things, but I don't know if I'm a slow learner, so it took me a while to realize that. The first one is that there are a lot of scams in the trading world, a lot. So you have to be very careful with who you're listening to,
Mm-hmm.
right? And always, 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 any trading decision you make, you have to do the math. What I mean by that is that actual numbers in trading doesn't mean really uh, much. What is really important is the return of investment.
Mm-hmm.
So the first things I would like to know before starting the trading was like, I was following a trader that was making $10,000 a month, and that to me was like, oh, incredible, $10,000 a month. That is really good. I want to do that. So I was studying with him until I realized that he have in his account over one half a million $500. So if you do the math, it's like what,
At 10%, less than 10%,
like 2%, isn't it?
2%. Uh-huh.
So I'm here with my $1,000 account. How much am I going to make in 1 month?
$2.
So you see what I'm going? So
Mm.
actual numbers in trading doesn't mean a lot. What it means is what is the return of your investment. If for him that is really good. I mean, 2 to 3% a month, it is really good. However, if you have very little capital, you are not going to grow in a very long time. So even though I can perform at his level, even though I can practice a lot to be able to have his ability in the market, I was not going to advance. So in
Mm.
that case, you have to make a decision. I can increase my capital, or I can look for another strategy that can give me more returns. But you have to do the math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the strategies, some people say, oh, yeah, trade that. This is very good. It's working very well. That doesn't tell you anything. I mean, what is the percentage of the strategy? How many losses, how many winnings can you expend on this given strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have the second thing that I would like to know before I started my Forex trading career is about scams, right? About that, I have to do the math in order to understand what is really happening. And a lot of people will sell you indicators, right? And oh, this indicator is gonna be 90% accurate, and blah blah blah. And but when you see it in real time, imagine like the price is going up and the signal appears for buy. If the price is still going up, the signal remains and it doesn't erase. But if the price is going down, the signal deletes. So if you see it in historical data, it never happened. So the first thing you have to ask is, okay, can I see it in real time? Does it work in real time? Because in historical data, you can see a lot of information that doesn't actually proves how you trade in the real live market, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean,
And
you're able to see the before and after, and then you can analyze a point. But I mean, real time, you don't know what's gonna really happen in the future.
exactly. So the first thing to do when analyzing this type of indicators or even a strategy that is really good, you have to be you have to know if you can apply it in real time, because there are a lot of things that happens before the move it's made already. But if you see it in the back, it's working really really well. Why? Because it appears after the move it's already happened,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is the second thing. And the third thing is, you have to know your system to the fullest. What I mean is, how many wins and how many losses can you expect from your system? Because in terms of probability, suppose that I have a 70% strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take 10 trades. So in theory, I'm going to win 7 and I'm going to lose 3, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
However, in probability, the combinations of the losses and winnings are really random. So consider a scenario where you take the first trade and you lose, then you take the second trade and you lose, and then you take the third trade and you
Third,
lose.
yeah, you lose.
And you're like, I'm gonna win the rest, and it's like, no.
You're like, "Oh, all right, the system doesn't work. I already took 3 trades and I'm just losing. What the hell, right?" But you have
Mm-hmm.
to expect that. I mean, that is part of your system. What is the percentage of your system? So you have to keep going to see the percentage of your system, right? But
And
it's
you
really
can do
hard.
30. You can do 30 losses and then 10 wins, right? And
Well,
that could
in
be
theory
it's the
that could
same.
happen, but
Huh?
in reality, it's really really hard to that to happen. But imagine how the trader feels after the third trade. Is he or she gonna hesitate,
Mhm.
or you just feel like, no, I'm just gonna make money here? I mean, it's too hard. So you have to know your system fully in order to expect, like, okay, I have in 3 losses right now, but let's see what happens when I take 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so hard. Like
That
for
that is
me,
really really hard.
life like that would
It-
be so hard because
yes.
like for me, and I told you this yesterday when we were chatting, that I see it as a gambling. You know, you're always just gambling, and obviously you're using money, right? But in a different way. And I think that's why it's so different. But like for me, it would be like I suck. I have like the worst of luck when it comes to gambling. I always like choose. I think of one, and then I end up choosing the other one, and it's like, oh, it was the one that I thought about, you know. And and I hate that. I hate that because it's like, and then I try it again. I'm like, okay, no, then I'll follow my gut next time. And then it's like,
Oh no, it
no.
was the second one that I was thinking.
Yeah. I'm just, for me, it's like very hard. And I'm sure it was hard for you too. You just didn't know how hard it was going to be.
Yes. And that is the part with emotional control, right? Because it's part of the game. I mean, it's part of trading. You cannot work in this industry without willing to do that.
Hmm.
So it's like, all right, so maybe this is not for me. I don't like it, or okay, I have to get used to it. I have to see it from a different perspective if I want to continue with this, right?
So, what was the thing that made you be sure to continue this path? Because number one, you said it was going to be 6 months and it became a year. And then after the
And I,
year, it became like a year and a half.
No, I said
And
was going to be 1 year, and then it took 1 year and a half.
yeah.
mhm.
So what was it? What was it that made you stick around?
um, I like a lot of the subconscious mind and self hypnosis and all that stuff. And in the hypnosis world, there is a saying that says, if you really have a desire, not a would like, or oh, if it happens, it's okay. A desire from your heart, like you say, I'm gonna use all my power to make it happen. You know those desires.
Yeah.
If you have that desire mentally, that means that inside of you you have the potential to accomplish it, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy or that it's going to be fast or that you don't have to grow as a person. But
Mhm.
inside of you, you have the potential to accomplish it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the desire at all. So I think that was one thing that got me stuck to it. Like, I really want this. So let me try my best and see what happens, right?
Let me try my best. I'm gonna add you, but I mean, and I'm not gonna give up because that's what have you done. I mean, you're not giving up because I mean, this is what I really want, and there's like no plan B.
I'm gonna make it work.
I'm gonna make it work,
and
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 that's
and it's okay, guys. I mean, um, if you study the successful people, you're gonna notice that a lot of them fail at the beginning. So
Yeah.
failure is like part of the process. It's like it's
Hmm.
not failure, it's feedback, right? And feedback is the
It's
breakfast
lesson
for
learned.
champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So please don't judge yourself. Don't think you valueless or you don't have the capacity to do it just because you failed. That is an illusion. You have to go through that process in order to learn from experience. Some things you can learn theoretically, and some things you have to learn from experience, right? So
mhm.
it's just feedback, and maybe because of the circumstances, you have to like work or do another thing while your business is growing. But if you really want it, that means that you have the potential to accomplish it. That is going to take time, yes. That is going to take effort, also, yes. Maybe you're going to fail several times, probably, but you can
And I think
accomplish it.
that's, you just gave the perfect definition of a side hustle, because that's what a side hustle is. You have your job, your 9 to 5 or whatever it is, and then you start following your passion, that desire inside of you, and you just start little by little. You start by maybe investing 20 minutes a day, and then it becomes an hour, and then it becomes more and more, because you realize that that's what you want to do. And that's just what we've been trying to tell everyone about. If you're willing to start a side hustle, regardless of what it is, I mean, we're here to hear you out. If you have any questions or any doubts, we're here to help. And obviously, we're not savvy on every single side
Yeah.
hustle out there,
Oh no.
but we'll be happy to share our experience with whatever we know. And we're happy to bring friends like Jonathan over and share what they know. So, it's very important what you mentioned, And if anyone else like has a comment about that, right,
Yeah,
or
so
anything.
before I go a little bit further on what you're saying, actually, Marco Antonio was, there is a nice acronym. So FAIL,
There's a very
it's
good
actually
definition.
stands for first attempt in learning. So
Thanks,
that's
Marco.
thank you for the addition to the
Thank you,
to
Marco.
for this for this topic. And yes, of course, I mean, we're all gonna fail, and but that's like a retractive process. I mean, you did something wrong. I mean, it's not like okay, everything is wrong. It's just like okay, so you have to step back and then make 2 steps forward with what you learn.
Exactly.
So like in
And
anything.
yeah, and the real work, guys. Well, this is my perspective, of course.
Hmm.
I really believe that the real work is not in achieving the results. The real work is to become the person who can achieve those results. And that comes, in my opinion, in three categories: the mindset, the skill set, and the habits and systems that support your goal. That is gonna change in every career, in every industry, but you have to find those three. You have to be careful with what you say to yourself, and what perspective you need to have in order to accomplish what you want. The skill set, what abilities you need to develop, where you need training, maybe in marketing or in your special niche, whatever you're doing, you're gonna need training, and that is a skill, and that can be learned. And in the stability is going to give you the habits and systems that you do every single day that support your grow on your business. Is it calling clients? Is it trading? Is it Airbnb, like making the photos and everything? What is the habits and system that support your goal as a business owner, right? And that can be translated to all as personal and entrepreneurial thing.
Well, thank you so much for that, Jonathan. We're really happy to have you. So before we leave, how can people reach you? How can, if they have questions about getting into Forex or just simply like starting this new passion or side hustle?
Or
Um,
even saying, okay, so I have this education. Do you think it's a scam? So you can you can let them know. Hey, yeah, I had that. No, it's a
don't
scam.
do that. I
Don't,
already did
don't
it.
do that. Yeah. It's okay if I give my email, jaminharris2
Sure.
at gmail.com.
So yeah, so you can contact Jonathan through his email, and you can see it on the screen.
You can
And
also comment below, like, share this video, and you enjoyed having Jonathan here. We're really happy that you were able to share your experience, your side hustle. And
thank you so much for accepting the invitation and having this little bit of time for sharing. Like you said, I
Thank you
mean,
so much to you
yes, and
guys.
your knowledge.
It's an honor and a pleasure, and you guys are amazing. Thank you for having me.
thank you.
Hmm. Thank you. All right, so we're done for today's, and then don't forget to comment, share, and
Like,
like our page. And if you have any ideas or any topics in the future, or if you want to have any of our past guests to come back and have more
or if you
questions,
want to be a guest,
or you want to be a
yeah,
guest,
if you
then
want to be a guest,
shoot.
you're definitely welcome to message us and share your passion, your side hustle with during our
Story.
live. So this was another week by Side Hustles by Soenz, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.